So I'll wait a couple more seconds here. All right, I think the last person might have just hopped on. We just added one more person, so good deal. Sorry. Okay. All right. Well, thank you everyone for joining the call. We appreciate everyone. We hope everyone's been having a safe month so far. It's amazing how quickly these months go by, and but thankful to still be here and still able to work and provide. I'm sure you are as well, being able to provide for yourself, provide for your family. So it's always something to be thankful for, and we definitely appreciate that, as well as you guys joining us this morning. We're going to talk about a few topics. We'll show a couple of videos as well at the end to reinforce, but we just wanted to cover some of these items first, and then we'll, like as always, if you have any questions, feel free to unmute yourself and ask any questions, or if you want any feedback, you want any clarity, or even if it's questions about something else outside of this particular topics that we covered today, feel free to ask. Sure we can get you some answers. If not here on this call, we can always get back to you. So you don't have to walk away from the call with uncertainty. So without any further ado, we're going to ask Mr. David Jackson to take it away.
Yeah, good morning, everybody. If you hear noises, it's because I'm getting tire changed on one of my trucks. So there's not much else I can do about that. Okay, good morning again. These are things that are expected of professional drivers, and I don't know if you can see the screen or not, but I'm going to read it off just in case you are not actually in front of the screen. As far as FedEx is concerned, number one topic is violence. Violence can occur in 3 different forms: physical, verbal, and emotional. Such behavior includes oral or written statements, gestures or expressions that communicate direct or indirect threats of physical harm. And do you know any violent act while providing service is cause for disqualification? And that means either coworkers, drivers, citizens, or other FedEx employees. Okay, violence is not accepted. Now you can say, well, what is violence? Violence can be, they say, physical, verbal, or emotional. A gesture, putting up a fist, and while doing a grimace on your face, a language saying, that I'm really going to get even with that, or that's going to happen. Something's going to happen to you. All those things. You need to refrain from anything that may be even construed as violence. Okay? The best thing for you to do is always just walk away, call your contractor, and have them deal with the situation. But it's not anything that you can do right then and there anyway. My drivers, I've told them many times, if you have a situation or a problem, even if you know that you're in the right and they're wrong, you just call me. You walk away and let me take care of it. Okay? The second one is firearms and weapons. Strictly prohibited on FedEx ground premises. FedEx ground premises includes company-owned or leased stations, hubs, property, parking lots, vehicles and at any FedEx sponsored or coordinated event held on non-company owned or leased locations. This rule includes tasers, pepper spray, tear guns, anything that can be used as a weapon. Okay, now it's always been posted on all of the locations that the weapons that are prohibited. That includes firearms of any kind and or knives, or even I've seen places where guys have tire thumpers that are actually in the shape of a baseball bat. You got to be careful of that. Where you keep that, keep it out of your immediate control. But anything like that can be used as a weapon. Now you can't have a knife on your person as long as it's not more than 2 inches, and as long as it's a folding knife that can be where the blade can be covered, and no jackknives or anything like that. Just a small pocket knife that you can use as a tool. Okay? Security awareness. Be aware of your surroundings. Never leave tractor or trailer unattended. Report unattended tractors or trailers, especially for butt heads and swaps. Use trailer locks and maintain spare key in the security box provided. Now, you may not have a lock on the trailers, depending on the trailers. So it's just the seals. But I would add that if you leave, let's say you're fueling up and you have a co-driver in the back of the truck, that you lock the door so that the co-driver is protected. Okay, there have been incidences where drivers have been, while in the sleeper, have been beaten to death. That's something you don't want. The other thing is you really got to watch out for people who want to steal your fuel. I had a truck that lost they stole about 100 gallons of fuel from the truck because the driver wasn't paying attention. Okay, so that has to be something you need to be securely aware of. But always be aware whenever you walk around in the lots, all that of people who look suspicious, or you think they're just standing around not doing anything, or just observing, just watching. Those people you need to be aware of that. The last one is aggressive and distracted drivers. Professional drivers yield, ignore violent behavior, and never engage in reckless driving. Also, leave enough space, adjust speed to conditions, be ready to stop, and always look in the mirrors every 8 to 10 seconds. Now, that last one is something that I emphasize in my company. When I get a new driver, the first thing I ask them when they, after their first week, is, how's your neck? Because usually if you're not used to doing that, if you're not used to checking your mirrors 8 to 10 seconds, your neck will be sore the first week. So that's the thing that I check, how I check to make sure that that's the case. What's important about checking? What's important is you know who's next to you, who's not next to you. You know that if you can move into a lane or not move into a lane in case something happens in front of you that you need to be careful of. I have driven and seen one of my tires blow because I was looking in the mirror, okay, on the trailer. So these are the reasons. You got to be aware. This is part of your awareness. Be aware of everything that's around you. What's that truck on the side? What is he doing? Is he slowing down? Is he speeding up? So look in the mirrors. Okay. The other things are just be your normal safety, defensive driving self. Okay, leaving that space, making sure that you have a way to get out of a possibility of an accident. Okay, and always back off. If somebody brake checks you, stay slow. Get away from them. Pull off if you have to. Okay, pull over to the side of the road for a second, or pull off at an exit. Let them go by, and then continue on. You don't want that. You don't want violence committed on you. Okay, any questions? Okay. Well, have a safe month, everybody.
All right, guys. I'm gonna show a couple videos here of some dash cam. Let me see. Let me switch over to this screen. Just some quick reminders here.
Frightening new dash cam video. It's an extreme case of distracted driving. A truck driver in Arizona, allegedly looking at pictures on his phone, crashes into police cars and emergency vehicles, killing one officer. That driver has now been charged with murder, and ABC's Lindsay Davis has the story. Watch closely. That's 33-year-old truck driver Jorge Espinoza on the left of the screen, his wallet blocking the view of his dash camera. His empty fuel tanker is barreling down an Arizona highway at 65 miles an hour when the unthinkable happens. His 10,000-pound 18-wheeler plows right into 3 police cars and 2 fire trucks stopped at an accident scene. One of those cars, Officer Tim Huffman, killed in the violent May 6th crash. Now investigators say this newly released video reveals Espinoza was actually on his phone at the time of the wreck. According to investigators, his cell phone records show he was online looking at Facebook and sites with photographs of several women in provocative positions, wearing little clothing. When initially questioned by police, Espinoza said he'd looked away from the road at a passing truck. But see here, there doesn't appear to be any truck. And at the moment of impact, right there, you can see Espinoza's white Galaxy 3 cell phone fly in the air. Police say he intentionally placed his wallet to block the dash camera while he was looking or manipulating his cell phone. Espinoza is now facing 20 felony charges, including second-degree murder. He is pleaded not guilty. In 2011, this truck driver's dash cam caught him talking on the phone before swerving across 4 lanes and into a crushing rollover. And in September, this Florida school bus driver was caught with one hand on the wheel and 2 eyes on her phone. In both of those cases, no one was seriously hurt. But unfortunately, in this case, this dangerous distraction caught on camera turned deadly. Espinoza told police he never uses his phone while driving because it's against company policy. But authorities say this was not a one-time thing, that cell phone records showed he used his phone to look at X-rated sites, YouTube, also Facebook while driving in the past. He's due back in court next month, but that video is so jarring that if you still do text or peruse pictures in this case, it just might be enough to convince you to stop. All right, Lindsay, thank you so much.
Yeah, that's just another one of those reminders.
This flashlight can burn through anything.
Just one of those reminders of the things that we've been taught and talked about on these calls as well, about how in one quick second your life can change forever. This particular gentleman, I'm sure he's probably doing some time at least, but how his life changed, his family's life has changed, the officer that he killed, the people that were affected in this crash, all because he wanted to look at Facebook for those few moments. Very sad, actually, very sad. We got one more. I gotta pause this because this is pretty shameful too. This truck is dragging a car down the highway. The car is stuck in underneath the trailer, and he's just dragging it for hundreds of yards or feet. And this goes back to what David was saying, you know, checking those mirrors every 8 to 10 seconds. If that was the case, if he was doing that, there's no way he would be dragging this car down the highway. So they're just re-showing it. But again, regardless of how this incident happened, whether this car lost control and went into the tractor, yeah, that portion of it probably wouldn't have been the driver's fault, but the dragging the car down the freeway just paints a picture that the driver is definitely not paying attention to its surroundings, not checking his mirrors, because he definitely should be able to see that car and definitely see all the white smoke that's coming from that car as it's screeching across the freeway. Who knows how that ended, but at the same time, again, it just shows two illustrations. Distracted driving is always a no-no. If it hasn't caught up with you yet, it will at some point. And just understand, a lot of times, I think drivers think that certain accidents they get into won't affect them. It'll fall back on the contractor. It'll fall back on FedEx to either pay for or fix, or, you know, if the other party's family sues, the driver takes a lot of responsibility, whether it's criminal type of items in the judicial system or personal, from another personal standpoint, if it's suing you for monetary loss. These types of things affect the driver as well. So it's not it's a company thing. It's not just going to be, oh, FedEx will take care of it. They have a whole bunch of lawyers. They have plenty of money to get this car's fixed or whatever, or represent you in court, which they most likely won't. But just understand that when you're out there on the road, you're representing, you know, Lugmo Corp, FedEx to a lot of extent, but you're representing yourself. You know, so the decisions you make out there, the decisions that you choose to go past your training and try to feel like that nothing will happen to me per se, you're putting yourself and your family at a lot of risk that could potentially blow up in your face, blow up your future, blow up your kids' future, your family's future, just because it can get ugly really quick. So think on these things. I know we talk about them all the time, and but understand that these are good reminders of us to stay diligent and believe in the training that we received, and understand that the public needs truck drivers to be safe and to look out for each other. So if there's any questions, Xenia, you have anything else?
No, in terms of the violence, wait, I want to go back there. Even though that there's a case, we know about a case that two drivers in the yard, they become a little bit violent. Another driver came to try to help. And I guess the way that driver came to try to help, it was not well seen, and everybody got DQ. So if you see something, people get violent or something, rather than to intervene, please call the office, call us, and just get away from the violent area, okay? Because we don't want that you get in any trouble. Then for the FedEx updates, they are asking, and if you live here in Florida, you know that construction, it's everywhere, in the turnpike, in the I-75, a lot of detours, closing basically the whole southbound most of the nights, going down to in the turnpike if you're going to Fort Lauderdale and those areas. So please be careful. We are using a lot, even though we know the route, we're using a lot the map. The map let us know right away if there's construction ahead of time before we face like a lot of traffic, crazy people trying to avoid the congestion. So make sure that please you slow down during construction and follow all safety that you has been learning, okay? For Lugmo Corp, we're having an issue with people forgetting to clock in and out. Please clock in and out and then when Amado fix your clock, make sure that you acknowledge the changes, okay? Also, there are great trainings in the Safety Compliance and Solution app that you can take advantage of those as well. It will clarify a lot of maybe misconceptions that you have. So take advantage of that tool as well. And be ready because on May 17 to the 19, it's an international road check. And this time, I believe that they say they're gonna be focusing in basically brakes, coupling device, fuel, exhaust system, lightning, well, basically the whole tractor. I think that they are going to, and they are going to give you a warning or a ticket if something fails. So make sure you do a very good pre-trip before you hit the road. The other thing is 401k. Remember, I sent your names again for the ones who qualify, who's been a year with us already. I send your names, expect the emails and answer before June 15. The first day that we're gonna start the changes, or if you wanna change something, needs to be before July 1st. I cannot change anything after July 1st. And we're asking, everybody is having the same issue. It's nationwide, affects everyone. So we are asking to please fuel in FedEx Ground, especially the DEF. Fuel in FedEx Ground as much as you can, okay? And the other thing is because there are a lot of inspections. There are going to be a lot of roadside inspections that I'm going to be letting you know. We are noticing that sometimes we're not receiving notifications from the drivers when the annual vehicle inspection is due. We paid attention to that. We make sure that our tractors are having inspection, but you guys need to let us know as well. You need to review that binder, because that's the binder you're going to show to the law enforcement. And if there's something that is outdated, you're going to have a ticket. And it's as much as our responsibility, it's your responsibility too. Okay, so make sure that you review that binder occasionally. Should be every day, to be honest with you. But let us know if you notice anything. Beside that, thank you so much again for everything you do. Stay safe and let us know if you have any questions.
All right. Well, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you. Stay safe out there, and we'll talk again next month.
Okay, bye-bye.